Hi there, Jennifer Judge from Keller Williams. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about the age-old question. What should I be looking for when I'm buying a new house? Well, there's a couple of things. You want to make sure that it's a home that's for your family or yourself or whoever's going to be living in the home. But it's not a bad idea also to think about when you put the house back on the market and you need to sell it. So that's a tricky thing to think about for some people because it's just tricky and it's hard sometimes to be buying the house in the first place, much less to be thinking about when you're going to sell it. But let's go over a few things. First of all, for yourself, you're going to want a home that you can live in, right? So think about the floor plan. Do you want a bedroom that's on the main floor, or do you want all the bedrooms upstairs? Do you even want a second floor? In a place like Austin, it gets hot here and hot air rises, right? So often two-floor homes will have two HVACs and two different hot water heaters. So that can be extra cost. So think about that when you're finding a home. There's lots of large homes that are one story, and if you want that option, then you might want to think about that. Other things to think about, light. Here's a big thing. Think about the light in the home. Are you someone that naturally gravitates to bright light and feel comfortable and that makes you feel good? Coming from Seattle, I was used to where there was no light and windows were critical. Here in Austin, I also, and find many buyers, really enjoy having good light in their home. You can always put blinds up if you're someone who likes video games or likes to watch movies, but think about that. Think about the flooring. Flooring is something that a lot of people, it's super important to them. And of course, that's something cosmetic you can always change, but make sure that you like the flooring or find out about the flooring and how hard it is to remove it. Think about those kinds of things. Paint, I hear paint all the time. I don't like this house because the house is all red. You can paint it, honey. It's not hard to paint. And yes, there's an additional cost, but very, minimal in the big picture of things. Now, if there's 2 bathrooms and you want 3 bathrooms, adding a bathroom absolutely can be done, but that's an investment. And that could be, adding square footage or converting something. So that's something you want to think about. How many bathrooms do we really need? Do you need 2.5 or 3? Think about the floor plan again. That's something that's harder to change than just a coat of paint. What about outside, right? So outside, that is something that can also be done. But if it's a tiny little space and you've always envisioned adding a pool, think about that. And that brings me to a pool. Do we have a pool or do we not have a pool? One big draw to the newer communities in the Austin area is that they have community centers and they have amenities like pools. So you can easily access a pool when it's 1,000 degrees here, but you don't have to clean it and the cost is super nominal. Other people, they want a pool that's private in their backyard. So that's great. Think about though, and let's go to the second part of this video, resale. Resale. How many people are going to want to look at your house? For instance, with a swimming pool, some people actually search for homes that don't have a pool. Just as much, of course, as people that are looking for a house that does have a pool. But it could stunt the resale of your home because you can add a pool, but it's really hard to take a pool away. So think about that when you're putting in a pool or buying a home with a pool. Let's see what else. Okay, location. That's the number one thing. Location, location, location. Sometimes it's what schools are nearby, what amenities are nearby. Are you too close to the amenities? Are you right on a busy street? Remember that some people, they want exactly what you don't want. So, you're not going to please everyone all the time. But think about the location because no matter how much you want to, you cannot change the location. So if you want an easy commute to one part of town, you're going to think about that for yourself immediately, of course. But think about that also when you're going to sell your home, and will it attract a lot of people? That's something that I really really think that it's most important that you do exactly what's right for you, because you don't want to live on the east side if you're going to like have to commute to Dripping Springs, and vice versa. So you do have to kind of pick and choose, but think about that, right? Can you rent the house later? Maybe you don't want to sell it. Maybe you want to live in this home for a long time, but is it a good house to rent? Is it low maintenance? Is it all brick instead of wood? So maybe you don't have to paint it. Lots of things about that are things to think about when you're buying. Property tax, schools, all kinds of things like that. There's so much more. I'd really love to talk to you about it one-on-one. I hope this video has helped you a little bit when you're starting to find a home, and I would be more than happy to answer other questions. This is Jennifer Judge. You can always reach me at jjudge@kw.com, or just put something down in the comments, and I look forward to talking to you at some time. Happy house hunting.